Getting started using NinjaTrader charting software, tutorial series and quick guides. Another video on how to use the market analyzer, how to create a set of columns to create alerts with, then how to copy those alerts into another tab, and then how to edit what you copy, best practices for doing so, and some shortcuts that'll save you a lot of time and enable you to do that. This video is being brought to you by STS Pivot System Charting Package for day traders, swing traders, and option traders. Easy to follow charts and scanners, trigger prices right on the charts, on the setups. We teach 2 trades long and 2 trades short. That's all. It's that simple. Just like you see on this chart, the trigger price for this trade was in the corner over here from this point on, with this price posted. Not to take it up here, and it did not trigger, but it wasn't posted as a trigger anyway. Came back. This is a classic, beautiful setup. Breaks right here. 167.26 was our trigger price. And we developed these same lines where you can overlay them on your shorter term charts. This is a 2-minute. By not taking that trade early when it went up here to 167.11, you avoided this 30-something minute pause here. It's not quite 30, about 15 minutes. This was a 60-something cent pullback by waiting on our trigger price to get in the trade here. And we were predicting that trigger price. This didn't go green until this happened. You have that up arrow where we're showing the price to go long at, and as soon as it triggers, it immediately gives a go short, because it's so close to flipping back over. So that's exactly where it occurred, was right here. And that is how simple that package is to use. Trigger prices right on your charts. Got a 7-day free trial offer, 10-day money back guarantee. Once you get this set up, it's $69 a month. And we're extending as a courtesy, if you take this package, full access to the website, including the trade room if you want to come in and out of there as well. It's not part of the charting package, but it's an offer we're letting you come in if you want to. And I mentioned this in a video about a week ago that we were going to do this. Any previous member to Day Trader Setups from day one ever paid $1 to us, this $69 fee is waived. You can come in and try the 7-day trial, no outlay of cash whatsoever. If you decide you want to go with this package, then you can sign up. A little tutorial on working with the market analyzer and duplicating a tab that you probably already have alerts built in. So I have this tab. You know, when you save these, you're only saving the column layout and the names and the data inputs that are behind this. You are not saving the alerts that you already have built. There's no way to save the alerts in Ninja. Hopefully they'll come up with a better plan for that. But if I want to duplicate this and create another set of columns where I go in and edit them from daily and weekly to 15 and 30, as I've partially done here. First I'm going to show you the first step. The reason I'm duplicating rather than opening a new one and then importing where I have saved these columns, I want to keep the alerts. I don't have to do all that work again, but I'm still going to have to edit those. I'm going to right click, duplicate a new tab, and then when I take this to rename it, here's what happens. First, I'm going to give you a tip on how to name them in the first place, and then you won't have to do what I'm showing you. They will still work. Now, I named them daily and weekly, and you name them in this label. If I had only named them top power or bear zone trigger level and not signified it was daily, and not signified it was daily on any of these, just go with the name, a real simple name of what it is. Now I had to signify them because I'm putting duplicates in here. You could actually have different tabs for each one. So theoretically, if you want to do a 15 and a 30 and a daily and a weekly, you could make one tab just contain the 4 that pertain to that one time frame, and then you could name that tab, which I'm not going to keep this, so I'm going to act like I'm making this just for, let's say, a 10-minute. So I'd go rename it. I called it a 10-minute, and I would click apply. Now I could go in here to the columns. First I'm going to delete half of them because we don't need them anymore. We're doing this just for one. And it's prompting me that I have alerts tied to that. It's going to destroy the alerts, and I'm saying okay. So now I'm down to 4. And if I want to change these to 10-minute, just change to minute, 10, and I would go to like 30 days, regular trading hours checked, and then I would just leave this just bear zone trigger level. I do the same thing here. Minute, 10, days, 30. Again, power bottom, 10-minute, 30 days. And we're going to do the last one. Power top. So we've got them all renamed. We're going to double check that they're 10-minute, 30 days. Everything's the same. I'm going to apply that. Now I have these names with no signification as to what the time frame is. But I've named my tab down here. Now you can save this tab. You can't use that slash in it. But you can just save it as bull bear zone intraday, and I'm going to do that without the minutes. First I'm going to right click, rename, so that I can copy all this and not have to retype it. Don't have to worry about being correct. I'll save as. I'll Control V to paste it. I'll take the 10-minute part off, and I'm going to put a space instead of that slash. Now I have a proper name. You never want to save your instruments, and I'm going to save this. Now reopening that's not going to keep my alerts. We're going to go in now, we're going to change these alerts, and this is the part you need to learn. If you're trying to duplicate one that already has alerts in it that had names like daily on them, when you just change the names you mess those alerts up. This is the key here. So we're going to right click, we're going to go to our alerts. Hopefully I didn't just delete them all. Yeah, here just can't see good. Okay, they're still in here. Now what I'm fixing to show you, you got to watch very carefully. First, they still have the names that they had before. So I want to rename my alert to 10-minute. I'm just going to go ahead and name them all so I don't forget any of them. I'm not even going to use these. I'm just going to do the bull and the bear. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and remove this. Remove this. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to name it 10-minute. I do not want to click apply yet. You do not want to apply. If you apply, you're going to mess it up, because right here these are not going to be functioning properly. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that in just a second. When I click on this, there is no longer a daily STS power top. There's only a power top. So we can still edit this and keep the other information that's still true. We're going to select it, edit it, and you see when we pulled it up, we don't have a list of items showing that would have this pre-selected because it's not there anymore. So we're going to open up our columns, double click, we're going to choose power top greater than and hit OK. Now we changed it. Then we're going to do the same thing again. So our pre-existing alert at least can remind us what we were doing. Power bottom less than numeric value, and that's what we wanted to find on this one. When we go back and do the others had something different in them, a little bit more detailed. So we've got our power top greater than 0. We're going to edit, find it, OK. Bottom less than 0, edit, find our bottom, less than, still there, 0. And then this is a little more complicated. Last price cross above the daily bull zone trigger. So we got to cross above the bull zone trigger. We no longer have one named daily. Bull zone trigger. Excuse me, I clicked the wrong one. See how easy it is to do it? It said last price. Last price. The reason it opened the columns is because last price was still there. Last price cross above, we don't have this side. Open our columns, and it was daily bull zone trigger level. So we're going bull zone trigger level. OK. We'll do that a little bit slower in the next version so you can see what's going on there. We haven't clicked apply yet. If we click apply, the one I hadn't changed yet is going to get messed up. We got to fix them all. So I'm going to go through here again. Power top greater than 0. Power bottom less than 0. Got to find it again because it's now been renamed. And then this one I'm going to slow down for you. I did it too fast last time. We've got to keep last price. That's why the columns are still there. They're listed because last price still exists. We didn't rename it. So we got last price crossing below the bear zone trigger level. So we got to find that. And now we fix that. So now they've all been fixed. If we want to activate them, we got to click enable, click apply, and now those are all there. Now I'm going to show you the next step. Now if you did this in the manner I just showed you, I'm going to save my workspace. Now you can duplicate this for a different time frame without as much work. We're going to take this, we're going to right click, duplicate a new tab. We're going to change this one to 30 minute. Actually going to change it to an hour. I already got a 30 and a 15 built. So I'm going to change this to a 60 minute. Bull bear zone intraday. Apply. Now, what 2 steps I got to do to make this work. First step, I'll go to alerts and just show you that they still say power top. We haven't renamed anything yet, and we're not going to. Still stay 10 minute, which we're going to edit those. I'm not going to change anything. I just wanted to show you what you had here. We brought the alerts with us. They're no longer activated when you duplicate. You have to activate them again. So we're going to cancel that. We saw what we wanted to see. Now we got to fix these columns. Well, now all I have to do instead of a lot of work is select each one. They're all at 10 minute. I only want to change them to 30 minute. I think I'm going to add 45 days since I went to 30 minutes. It's already named power top. We're not going to rename it. That's the reason we didn't put the time frame of the chart on there. Change it to 30 minute, 45 days. We're going to do that on all 4 columns. Now we're going to apply. Now we've changed them all, the minutes and the days. We didn't mess with the name of the alert, the label right here. We didn't change anything there. So now when we go to our alerts, they look like they did before, but now when we click this and go into edit, they're still showing because we did not rename them. They're still here. It knows what to use. So you don't have to change any of this. They still work. They still function. Now they're 30-minute. All you need to do is just rename the alert to 30-minute. Activate the ones you wish to use. Apply. And now we quickly, but I did it on 60-minute, named them wrong, so I messed that up. I'll go back and fix that after we get off the video. I'm going to go ahead and name them to 60 because I got to go back and change those columns. And I won't walk you through that part, but I'm going to go back and just edit each one to a 60-minute chart. Now what we just did saved a lot of time, and we can continue to duplicate that. We don't have to save it anymore. It's the same settings as it was before as far as the columns. It's just different minutes. So we've got one copy there kind of as a master template if we need to open it later for some other reason we didn't want alerts or so forth. Doing it this way, your alerts are already created. You've got your names in there. You got your priorities in there. You got your sounds or your emails or whatever you might have already had on those. We just changed it to a different time frame. Thanks for watching our videos. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on StockTwits, and subscribe to our channel. This part we want to add another indicator to our already built alert. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little trick here on these tabs. I want to move this closer to this, so you just click on it and hold it and just slide it over and it'll slide it down. Of course you want to save anything you do like that. And you always want to save your work as you go, so if you mess up you save part of what you did. Now we built this 30-minute bull bear zone alert for day trading breakouts. This has nothing to do with our pivot system. This is just for clients that want to scan their stock list for those 15 or 30-minute breaks. These are great alerts at the open. You can find those momentum stocks breaking out, but what I want to do and what I hope my clients want to do is find the ones that were already in an uptrend, if you're day trading especially. So I'm going to duplicate this again to another new tab, and a swing trader would probably want to do that with the 60-minute we built. You could also do this on a 10. I'm going to change that 10 later to something smaller time frame. You can take this same bull zone bear zone alert, put it on a 2-minute or a 5-minute, and use it in the late afternoon if you're a day trader to find those stocks that break late into the close. You could also take and incorporate that with what I'm fixing to add to this other and find stocks that were right on the edge, and some point in the middle of the day they crossed over out of a base in a bigger time frame alert and they broke out pretty strong, and so you get this bull zone alert on like a 10-minute. You'll find that pretty good. That's actually what I'm going to do with that. This if I can show you a chart right here, this chart right here, this is a 25, came down and spent quite a bit of time here during the day basing. It could spend a small amount of time or a large amount of time. The more time it spends there, the more likely it is to be in a consolidation, and then we want to take that consolidation break. Now I want to take that on a bigger picture. I don't want it on a 25. I want it on a 50 or a 100 if I'm swing trading. So I want to take this 60-minute bull break, I want to use it on a 50 or a 100 uptrending stock to find that breakout to step into my swing trade, my multi-day trade, my option trade. I also want to use these in the mornings on the 15 and the 30 minute. I want to find the break on the stocks that are already strong. I switched this over to a 50 up here. This is Apple. This is one day to the next day. It spent all this time in this little consolidation period. Well, I'm already in a downtrend, so as I open on the 15th and I get this little bounce up and I head back down, we've got alerts for that right here on the chart. But if I'm trying to get this consolidation break, I know I'm already in a downtrend, and so I have this alert set up for this 30-minute bull or bear, and I'm only looking at stocks that are in a 50 or a 100 downtrending status according to our red zone and green zone. I want to find that breakout because I may get a stock that goes red zone and spends some time in that area and then breaks again. It could be a small ATR stock. It could be a $20 stock or a $200 stock. In this case, it's Apple that spent an entire day and a half, actually 2 days. That's the 14th and the 15th. This moves over into the 19th and the 20th. So it spent 2 days here, and then it broke out on the 19th, probably to the downside, into a bull zone, 15 or 30 minute. So I can either build a list of stocks that are in those zones, which I do. End of the day, I like to look right here. I'll throw a few short lists of stocks in here. You're kind of getting a little demo on part of what our product does, but I want to show you what we're going to do with this alert. It's a real short list. Dow 30. I'm not going to sit here and make you watch it load, but we'll pause and come back to the results. It's loading and it's calculating all these areas on real-time data, and they'll start saying downtrending or uptrending. Throw a cautionary note in here if you're one of our clients. When you start loading this information, this has been more than a minute now, and this is only 30 stocks. Don't overload your symbols. Maybe load in 25, 25, 25, and 25. Understand this is a massive calculation process to figure this out. And the bigger the factor, the more massive the process is. So on your shorter factors, it'll load quicker, and your bigger factors will load slower. In this case, we've got 3 different factors being calculated and really nothing else. But the bigger the factor, the bigger the issue, because when we start loading in this alert tab over here on our 60 minute that we're going to add the uptrending stocks and the downtrending stocks to, when you start loading those symbols up, it's a lot of work. And don't think Ninja's giving up. Now, if you don't have a big enough computer, it may give up on you. But if you have a fair size computer, it will max out a lot of resources. You'll think it's not through. And I actually will have looked at it in detail in the task manager, and it'll say not responding. It's waiting. It's still working. It's not locked up. Now it will lock up, but most of the time when it's not responding, it's still working and it's waiting on these processes to be finished. And then finally, when it gets finished, your little window with all your graphs in it will start to not be as busy on your CPU usage and so forth. Now, what you can do with these is you can export and sort by the list, downtrending or uptrending, and create you a watch list. You can actually export it into an Excel spreadsheet, sort it by the word downtrending or uptrending, and then select your symbols, copy and paste into a text file, and then import it back into Ninja. Or you can just do one by hand if you're not watching many stocks. To export, you just right click on the chart and you have an export function, and it'll automatically go find the spreadsheet program if you've got on your computer to get that open. Now you create your works list, and this is what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to use this information in this other column. I'm going to give you a little tip here. If you want to delete all your symbols and you've got them linked by color into your charts, you want to unlink that first, so that when you click on the symbol and you click delete, you can start deleting the symbols. If it's trying to load them into all those charts, it causes overwork. So we just took those all out. Now we're going to go over here to this column we built. We've got our 15-minute bull and bears, and remember, that's our copy. Here's our bull and bear up here, our daily bears, and then we went over here and we copied our tab. So we're working with a new copy. So first thing we're going to do is rename it, because we're adding something to it. It's going to be our 30-minute bull bear, and we're going to name it trending. The reason I want to get those symbols out of that, so I can save this workspace. I don't want the symbol saved. It's still working hard on something. This is a very old computer too, so just to let you know, you don't have to have a massive new system. The more columns you put, the bigger workload you're putting your computer under. And this is a basic, probably quad 4 PC, but it's about 10 years old. The one I run with 17 columns and 10 or 12 tabs is 12 core 24 threads, and it can bog down loading all this stuff. And I had to go to AMD processor to be able to do that. It don't run that high of a workload on the CPU, but I tried an i7, I tried an i9 with a 12 core, and it was rated the worst thing in the world to calculate math with. This is an Intel as well. And this is what we're doing. We're doing math problems here. I don't know why it's still loading. I guess it'll get through in a few minutes. We want to take now and we want to make this trending. We're going to do our same exact alerts we already have in here, but we're going to add something to them. Now, when we duplicated, remember, they all unchecked themselves, which is fine. Now we're going to add an additional column. Well, what we want to add is what we were looking at back over here is my trending alert. And we're going to go to the columns and the indicator. I'm in the wrong column. I was on my end of day report right here. It only has one column or one type alert. I didn't want to have to figure it out. This is called my trend shift pivot zone alert builder. It's what tells me if this line is green or red. It's going to tell me my trend. We use that to get the crossover. That's why it's called the alert builder. But we want to know the condition of the alert, not the crossover. In this case, we're going to use it for something different. So we're going to add 2 columns. And we're going to go to indicators. When you're dealing with a chart, right at the top, our product will have STS pivot system. One folder has all the indicators. When you're dealing with a Mac, you've got to go down and select indicator first. So we want to add 2 columns. So indicator, double clicked it. You can just click it once and you can click add. See, it showed up down here. Add. We got another one now. We got 2 of them. It's going to default to the alphabetically over here in this list. Now we're going to go in and we're going to go down and find in another folder. In the Mac, you have to go down and find the folder, and it's labeled right here, STS Pivot System. It's probably the only thing you'll have with a little marker on it. And we want our Trend Shift Pivot Zone Alert Builder. That's the alert we want. There's only one choice here, and we got to set this up, and then we're going to do the same thing on our other one. Our next step is to set this up. We want to know about our 50 factor trend and our 100 factor trend. So I want to come in here, and I'm going to go down to STS Algo, last thing in your list. It defaults to 25. I want it on 50. I always run everything on 100 bars on the Algos. I do not want an end of day break, and I want regular trading hours only, the last thing in this list. So I've got my STS Algo, 50, 100 bars, no break, on bar close. That's what we want. Now I can label this to TSP, Trend Shift Pivot Trend is what I'm going to call it. And I'm going to click another column over here, and you can see it didn't name it what we told it to. It changed it. Even though we have it in here as trend, it's got it in here as 50 Algo blah blah blah. I didn't want that. I wanted what I put in, and that happens a lot, and you have to go back and apply it, come back to it, rename it again. Generally I can, after I apply it, I can go back, maybe add a letter. In this case I do want to add something. I want it to be my F50 trend. Now it retained that. It may not retain it after we hit apply, so I'm going to highlight and copy that, so I'll have that available if I have to do it again. Now I'm going to go back to the next one, do the same thing again. We're going to go back up. We've already added our builder a moment ago. We'll go down, select our Algo. We're going to 100, same bar, 100. No end of day break, regular trading hours only. Now I copy and pasted that so I can put it over here, and I can call it my F100, and see it did the same thing again. So I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to change one letter out, go back, come back to it again, add the letter back again, see if possibly that'll fix it. And now I'm going to press apply. We've added 2 more columns going to show up right in here. You'll see them come on the end here. Whether it's going to maintain our names we just did or not, I don't know. We're going to find out. Looks like it did, so that's good. If not, you go back into columns and you go back, change the names again, and reapply, and normally that'll fix it the second time in. So now I've added these columns. I'm not going to use these columns for anything special, so I'm going to leave them at a 1. Now, if I load a symbol in here, and I'm just going to load a cat, and let it calculate all this out. What we're looking for in our power columns is we want 2 blue ones. That one of them will be minus and one of them will be plus. It doesn't matter. They're going to be blue is how I got them set up. But we're looking for 2 blue ones. Now over here, this is different. This says this stock is uptrending. It's equal to 1 on a 50, and it's equal to minus 1 on a 100. That means it's uptrending. It's green on Caterpillar on the 50, but it's red on the 100. And I just loaded cat up here, and you can see it is green, so it's uptrending on the 50. It's still downtrending on the 100. The 100 is something I'd really probably be using more on a 60-minute, but I'm going to use it on the 30s as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our alerts that we've already built, and we're going to add these to them. So we duplicated our column, and now we're adding the trending part in here. And the way I got this same alert to say uptrending in the other columns is I go into columns, and you can go down to trend, and the very bottom has sell conditions. I can take a condition, I can add one, and I can say if this sell is equal to 1, I want to say uptrending, and I want to make it green. When we build our alert, it don't care. I'm hit apply, and you'll be able to watch that change to the word uptrending. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to put another condition in here. First of all, I'm going to add another condition. If it equals -1, it's going to say downtrending, and it's going to be red. I just went through the same process on the F100 when you're going to hit OK and apply there, and you're going to see this one change to downtrending. So that's all there is to that, to customize that. You can't customize this one. Now I'm going to go into my alerts, and we're going to add these 2 items to our already built alerts. What we're going to want to do is take our bull zone. We want a bull zone break with an uptrending stock. So we're going to add a condition. So we're going to rename this, first of all, bull zone break trending, so we'll know when the alert comes through the alert log what just happened, because it puts this name right here. And then we just got to, everything's going to stay the same, but we want to add a condition. So we're going to add that our newly created, okay, look in here, it's got it wrong. We're going to go back and fix that first of all. We're just going to go ahead and get right out of here. See right here what happened on it when we were messing with those columns. This went and renamed itself. So we got to go back and fix that. This is good that I was able to show you this. We're just going to grab the F50 one. We're going to copy it, and we're going to go down here, and we're going to name this one what it should have been in the first place, or what we wanted it to be. And I'm going to leave it like this so I can change it. I'm going to go out and back in. Now I'm going to make it 100, hit apply, and hope it fixes itself. Normally it does, and it'll stay fixed. Now what I need to do right here is I need to save this again. Now we're going to go back to our alerts, because we want this name the proper thing. So if we didn't change it right there, we changed it later, you're going to mess up your alert. So now we're back in here. We're going to go add. We're going to go down, and we want this trending. Remember, it was a 1 for uptrending, a -1 for downtrending. So we want trending equal to numeric value 1. Now I'm going to do the same on the bear. I'm not going to sit there and let you watch me do all of these, but I want to go down to my same trending equal to numeric value -1. The -1 is what made the downtrending be there. And I need to go back and rename, because when we went out of there I lost where I named it trending. Now I actually need to put one more description here. It's a 15-minute break. It is an F50. We're just going to go ahead and call it uptrend instead of trending. Make that a better definition. Factor 50 uptrending. So 15-minute chart's going to be a bear zone break with momentum, and we're already in an up, well, excuse me, be a downtrend in this case. We did our -1 for the downtrending. Downtrend, F50 downtrend. We're going to copy that, because we're going to go ahead and use that in our other. uptrending. So now we got a bull zone break with the trend equal to 1, which is the uptrend. We call it an F50 factor uptrend with a 15-minute bear break. So now we're taking my system and overlaying it on a 15-minute chart, and we're looking for a breakout just like we look on our daily and weekly bull and bear zone breaks. We find those candles that make multiple candle moves. We just want an already uptrending stock when we find that out for a great day trade or setting up a multi-day swing trade by using a bigger factor. So now we've created both of those. I'm going to hit apply and save that information. I'll fix all these after we finish the video. I want to show you one more step we got to do because now we need it on the 100. So we're going to copy this. Now that we've built this and finished it, we're going to copy it. Now it made us a copy. We're going to copy this one. Made us another copy. Now the only difference here is this is going to be the F100 uptrend. We can get rid of the ones it put on the end since we duplicated the name. It added that. It's the only reason it added it. I'll go down to the next one. It's going to be a 100 downtrend. So we got our names fixed. Now we got to fix our conditions. So remember, our condition is the F50 trend equals 1. It's uptrending. So now we're going to go in our 100 one we just made. It's still a 15-minute bull zone break, but now we're using it when 100 is uptrending. We're going to go ahead and edit this. Instead of being the one is selected here, you barely can see a little bubble in that. We want to change it to our F100 equals numeric 1. F100 trend shift pivot trend equals 1, and then we got to go down to our bear and fix it. Edit, same thing, going to the 100 equals -1. So now we've taken and added a trending factor to our breakout alerts, as well as duplicated an alert and created one on a different factor. And then I'll go in and edit them for the 50. I'll do the same thing on my 30 minutes, and I add the 100 and the 50 to them as well. You may get duplicate alerts on a big breakout, but you may the bigger the bull zone break time frame, wouldn't you rather get multiple candle move on a 30-minute candle and you had a multiple candle move on a 15-minute candle? So that's why I like to run them both. The 30 may come and the 15 may come in and out. And I like to come back, and the 30 is going to stay there, and I can start walking, work my way through my alert system up here. And I'll go back and I'll change those priorities here to high so that I can get these out in my face on my alert log in the morning. I'm going to leave them low right now because I need to go double check how I've got everything else running. I want to make sure I can get these out by themselves. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you learned something. Continue to watch our tutorials. We're building them for our clients, but I believe they'll help anybody. And then when it pertains just to using our software, we got it in a different watch list and a little different name, but it's all going to be beneficial to anybody who wants to use it.